Dissecting the news, one tangent at a time. This is Hardly Focused.
Oh, this fucking music bed just scared the shit out of me. Because I got like a, I don't want to say they're like fancy by any means, but they are Logitech speakers with a subwoofer, and this is one of those tracks where it really puts the subwoofer to the test. Sleigh Bells, I believe this is.
I can hear where that bass would come in right there.
Oh yeah, because you're hearing all the processed audio. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I apologize if I blew your ears out just now.
That's funny.
We're Hardly Focused. You can get us at hardlyfocused.com. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Hardly Focused. And we're also doing a video version of this, and I don't know where to put it. It just dawned on me because we don't have a Hardly Focused YouTube channel. I'd have to convert the old Talk Radio Meltdown one over to Hardly Focused. Or I might just spin up a new channel. I don't know. But we do have a video version of this podcast, and it will be posted on at least our Facebook page, facebook.com/hardlyfocusedpod. We're also on Twitter, too. Twitter.com/focusedhardly. Maybe I'll post some semblance of the video there too. It's I mean, it's really just still a shot of me talking, but you know, we've got some overlays of Mike and Nate there, so it's you know what it sort of looks like. It looks like when the Gulf War started and CNN was broadcasting, and the most they could do was show still images of the reporters because they were like in a hotel that was getting bombed out. So that's
tell by the thumb.
We'd go live, but we don't want to do that accidentally.
Yep. Those videos are on YouTube, by the way, and it's, you know, it's of my oddball interests and things. But I was watching those recently, and there's very early on, it was instances where you know, they were talking and they didn't realize the microphone was on. So they're just like talking, and then they kept like, "Oh, we'll go to the reporters who are in the hotel right now," and it, like they pot them up, and you know, they'd be going off about whatever. And then it turned into they were trying to talk to the folks back at the CNN headquarters, and the connection wasn't fully set up yet. So it was one of those we're talking to you, but we're not sure if you can hear us. So boobs, dick, penis,
PP.
So.
I do like how they kind of figured out the way to know when that has that full second and a half delay. You see the reporter in the field with their finger up to their ear, and they do the nod. They do the nod, like, "Yep, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. I just can't talk yet because you're not done talking on my end."
Okay.
Yep.
I can't make this up. You said that. You said that, you know, the reporter puts their hand up to their ear and then they nod. And I like was listening to your voice because maybe I'm just losing my mind, but I thought I heard like a tiny echo. Whatever, I can live with it. But I had my hand on the headphone like pressed up, and then like you said the thing about the reporters and the nodding, and I just like subconsciously nodded. But I got the goddamn video image in front of me, and I saw myself doing it. I'm like, I did it on cue. Literally, he said it. I just did it.
How Pavlovian of you.
So yeah, Mike, I think you were the only person in this room who was of cognizant age to remember the Gulf War on television.
83, 93. Yeah, I was 8 years old. Yeah.
I was probably still shitting diapers. So.
Man, so you were 12 years old. All right. Okay. Didn't know you were older than me. All right.
Wait, there was a war?
Yeah. there was the first one. Yeah.
Or Desert Shield, if you will.
Desert Shield and Desert Storm, two different things.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like
Sandstorm.
I thought
that's Darude. That's different.
I just thought they changed the name at some point. Like Desert Shield didn't roll off the tongue, while Desert Storm sounded more badass.
Desert Shield was the protective action. Desert Storm was the assault into to kill all the Iraqis.
Ah, okay. Did you ever see? Is it Three Kings? Did you see that movie?
Yes, George Clooney.
Is that the third Aladdin movie?
Yes, with Jafar. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Jafar is Saddam Hussein.
Okay.
Yeah, Three Kings, great movie.
George Clooney, can't you
wait.
see Alibaba?
That's Return of the King, isn't it?
Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the
Yeah.
Revenge of the
Revenge
Jedi.
of the Sith?
Whoa.
Hayden Christensen was in the Middle East for one movie, wasn't it? So obviously, yes, it's this one.
Yep. Cool. I'm glad we came to this conclusion.
Warp 9.
Yeah, it's was it George Clooney, Ice Cube, and then Spike Jonze and Mark Wahlberg. Mocky Mock. Yeah. Yeah, what an odd pairing. Like George Clooney, I can see being in a war movie like that, and I guess like Mark Wahlberg now, but back then, like he was still a few years removed from the the good vibrations phase, and then Ice Cube. The hell, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, good movie though. Mike, your Spawns, is the older one old enough
Not old enough to watch Three Kings, I'll tell you that.
Oh, any age is old enough for Three Kings. Come on, show him Fire in the Sky. That's a real good movie to be exposed to at a young age. Uncle Gary.
Next week we're gonna watch American History X.
Nice.
Nick's, oh my God, can you imagine Nick?
Nick's gonna be curb stomping the Paw Patrol next week.
Oh my God. Daddy, what's a skinhead? Anyway, is Nick old enough for homeschooling yet?
No. He's only really 2.5, so I'd say next year, like if he was a year older, then we would probably be quote unquote homeschooling. But I mean, the kid's old enough to just play. That's all he's gonna do.
Boy, am I just dumb. I thought for some reason that kid was like 4 years old.
I mean, sometimes what the shit he comes out with out of his mouth, sometimes he's 4 years old.
Wait,
like, dude, what the hell?
Mike, you have kids?
From the side of the road, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Wait,
yeah, they just give them out like candy.
Fillers, in all seriousness, did you know this?
Did I know
That Mike had kids?
Well, I had forgotten not too long ago that he had two.
Okay.
Like I was like, how's the kid? And he's just like, you mean kids? And I was like, oh no, I'm a jerk.
How is or are the kid in parentheses S?
In my defense, I have like all of my friends are having kids. I can't keep track of who has kid and who has kids.
That's fine. I mean, it's also been a while, so I wasn't sure just how up to speed you are on things.
Oh yeah, I knew.
Okay.
I was just like, oh, I'm a jerk. Sorry, Mike.
Well,
Sorry.
that's okay. At least you didn't forget their age. Here I am thinking Nick's old enough to buy alcohol.
I mean, yeah, he might.
Or like we did a sitcom style age jump, right? Like in one season he's a baby, and then in the following season he's 6 years old all of a sudden.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so obviously definitely not old enough for homeschooling. Well, I asked that question because Fox News, as much of a credible source as they are, actually had a really good article here. According to Fox News, coronavirus homeschooling, 77% of parents agree teachers should be paid more after teaching their own kids.
It's tough.
I'd like to talk to the 23% of the people that did not say it's tough. Because they're fucking lying.
Yeah. Or they just, they were surveying, they don't have, they don't have kids.
Or they don't have kids, or they have one kid and they don't have a job. That's the other thing too. That must be the parent that's like, oh, I'm a stay-at-home mom anyway, or I'm a stay-at-home dad. Like, okay, fuck you.
No, okay. Because at that point,
2 full-time jobs and then have 2 kids. All right, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a teacher, but I'm also a doctor, and I'm also a chef, and I'm also a paleontologist. According to this article, In new research from one poll and educational gaming company Osmo, 77% of parents agreed that teachers should be paid more for all they do. 4 in 5 even said that they have a newfound respect for educators after guiding their own child's distance learning during quarantine.
And it's funny, like, I don't know, a couple years ago, like all these articles are coming out, especially like in the Midwest, like Oklahoma was like, fuck you, we're not going to pay you teachers. And people are like, yeah, I got to take 3 jobs and I'm a teacher and I got to have 2 more jobs in order to pay the rent. And you're like, something's wrong with that. And now everybody's realizing they were right. They were right. We should be paying you more.
Yep.
Yeah.
My mom's a teacher.
Yeah, but where is she teaching?
Grafton?
Oh, I mean in general, like Massachusetts.
Grafton Middle School?
Generally in the state of Massachusetts. So generally speaking, Massachusetts does not have completely shitty teacher pay. Like,
no.
Like, yet again, go to the bottom 10 of education on the states. They seem to be the same states that love to vote certain ways and love to say certain things and love to hate certain colors. But those states all have shitty teacher pay because the teacher's like, yeah, I love teaching, but I got burnt out because I was getting paid $26,000 a year.
That's just terrible.
Yeah, it's I mean, they were talking recently within the last couple of years too about just the difficulties with teachers having to pay out of their own pocket for expenses, just classroom supplies, right? Like,
oh my god.
And they were ultimately paying more than they were making in like a single paycheck just to actually get those supplies. Like it's a nut house.
They used to be able to take those classroom supplies and put that into their taxes.
Yeah.
And then fucking dickhead decided to change the tax code, and so they're no longer allowed to put that in their taxes as expenses. So they just have to fucking eat it.
I'm a very intelligent person.
Are you?
I was going to make a joke about that's why we get number 2 pencils because we can't afford the number 1s, and everyone was going to laugh, and then I was going to be a hero, but I'm really glad I didn't.
Listen, I appreciate your Dixon Ticonderoga humor. Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Do you ever see anything other than a number 2 pencil? Like I very rarely have ever seen anything that isn't a number 2. I've seen I think I've seen a number 1 before, a number 4 I've seen, but like they're always number 2s. Like,
I'm sorry, I went to art school, so I can't comment.
I worked at an art supply store, so I don't know.
Yeah, there was like every number, and I was like, oh, that's where all the other numbers are. There's like 1, 2, there's HH, there's
the HBs. Yeah.
HBs, there's just like so many different ones.
Oh yeah.
And it's like different based on like, I don't remember, but certain ones you don't have to press as hard, and the other ones are lighter, and that's
like
what
it's like the hardness of the charcoal that's like in the actual
the
pencil itself.
Different stuff for different types of stuff.
Number 2 is the best one that shows up on Scantrons back in the 60s, so that's what they used.
Okay.
Uses them ever since.
I was just about to ask, why number 2? Why is it always got to be number 2? And that's one of those comments too that I made, not expecting a full-blown discussion.
The history of the number 2 pencil is brought to you by Hardly Focused.
And you can tell that I just went into the design aspect. It was like something about number HH or HB, and you draw sometimes, I guess, in art school. I don't know.
Smudge resistant, and it stays on the paper, and that's why it's the best one for scanning. And so otherwise we would have had number 3s or number 1s, but number 2 apparently for some reason. Number 2 HBs.
Christ.
Everywhere.
Ticonderoga, motherfucker.
Do they still use Scantron sheets in schools?
Still, I mean, not for nothing. Did you fill out your SATs?
I filled them out.
Multiple choice, right?
Right. Yeah, but that was 15 years ago.
I didn't take my SATs.
They didn't fucking change them. I don't think they changed them. It's still fucking filling in your goddamn circles with a pencil.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I never
Goddamn
took the
Scantrons.
SATs. I'm very proud to say I never took them.
Oh, I took them twice, and I don't know why I did, because the second time I think I scored like 30 points higher than the first time. I got a really high score, I think, on my, I think it was the first SATs I took. And the writing prompt was about something that, like, I don't remember what it was, but it was something I was passionate in. And I actually got mad because I wasn't, they called time and I wasn't finished writing. And I was in the middle of a thought and I wanted to finish it.
That sucks.
But I got like the highest score possible for the writing prompt. Like, it's like the only thing that I did well in compared to math.
Was yours out of was it 1600 or 2400?
2400.
See, that's how you can know the age difference. Mine was at a 1600. I didn't have the 2400 option. I didn't have essay.
Okay.
I had verbal and math, and so I did it twice.
Old.
Oh yeah, and I did it twice, and I completely just said fuck it for one half, and I concentrated on the other, and because I knew they'd combine them total, so I'm like, all right, that's what I did. So I aced the math on one of them, and bombed it on the second one, and then I aced the verbal on the second one and bombed it on the first one. So
I remember Boys in the Hood. Ricky gets his SATs in the mail, and he got like a 970 or like a 620 or something. Like, he got like whatever it was just a few points above whatever the bare minimum was to pass. And like, you look at that score now, and like, one would only achieve a score like that if they, like, the only thing they did right was spell their name correctly.
400 is the minimum score.
Okay. Yeah. So it was, I mean, it was higher. It was definitely, it was like at least 600, but it was still like shockingly low, but at the same time, probably also like not awful in 1990, because it was probably like out of like 1200 or whatever. Yeah, I think
1,000 was the benchmark back in the day. If you got into 1,000, like, that was good.
I got a 1540 on my first one. I got 1570 the second time.
I got 1330 total.
I got a rock.
Out of 1,600 bitches, you fucking retard.
Charlie Brown over here.
I just didn't want to take them. I was like, dude, I'm going to go to community college, and then I'll go to a good college from there. Not that community college isn't bad.
And it's depending on where you go in community colleges, some of them are fucking good.
Dude, Quincy, I mean, I went to Quincy and I had my problems with it, but at the same time, I took some really good classes.
7 years of problems getting through that one.
7 years of yeah. Okay, taking one class a semester is really fucking easy, let me tell you. But yeah, I mean, longest tenure at community college. I mean, I'm watching this show Community right now, and I have no idea how they went on for 6 seasons when community college is only supposed to be 2 years. So
I was there for 3 because I couldn't decide on anything. I was like, I don't know, this is fun. And I was like, I hate it. Let me try this.
I'm 90% sure that Dave Wooten is still going to Quincy. He was going there because he was like, he was super part-time like me. Like, he was taking like a class, and then he would take 2 years off and then take another class, and you know, he was just going at a snail's pace whenever his schedule would allow for it. Like, eventually I finished, but
good for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea why I took the SATs. I had prospects back in high school of going to a a college. It was not a community college, and that never panned out. So I took the SATs twice because I knew that 15 years later I'd be doing a podcast where I could talk all about it.
Fair enough. I took an IQ test.
You got the long-term vision right there, buddy.
There you go.
I got an IQ test, so that counts for something, right?
How did that go?
As long as you scored more than 75, I think you're good.
Honestly, the results they sent me were, we don't know. I'm not lying. They're like, your results are inconclusive, because I guess I did like
too well.
It's weird. I don't know how to explain that. Like, how do you explain to somebody you took an IQ test and your results were,
I don't know.
We don't know. We can't figure it out. So I guess I scored high, like genius in some levels and dog shit in others, and then
like, we can't marry the two together for something. Like, yeah,
we can't figure you out. You're just all over the place. So you're like a genius in some places and you're an idiot in others. I was like,
It's like when
But doesn't that sound about right though?
That's exactly me. I'm a genius in some places, and most places just a dog that's like ball.
it's like
Squirrel.
an Excel when you do the if you actually divide by 0, the cell literally just says div/0.
Yeah.
Or if you put in like an equation, it just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't know. You're the only person I think that I know that got an IQ test.
I had to for to get, because I did the special educations programs. You're required to take it because I have massive amount of anxiety. I have such anxiety about taking tests that I wouldn't finish tests.
Oh yeah.
I would not be able to complete the test because I would get so worked up about it. So
Oh,
then,
you get worked up about stuff? What?
oh man, you don't know? I get like I thought I told you. Did I not? I'm so bad. I'm just a.
You're the best we
I
ever
am
had.
Eeyore.
You're Eeyore. You're Ted. No, you're better than that, fillers. You know you're better than that. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Ball?
We'll wrap with this. Facebook.
We're gonna wrap yourself. We're gonna wrap. What? Oh, wrap up.
Facebook is a book for your face. It's great. Yep.
Facebook introduced today a
Now, what is rap music?
they introduced I don't know if they introduced it today, but I'm seeing today was the first day that I saw all these posts about it. I guess they trial ran it a few weeks ago. The care button introduced because of uncertain times that we live in, because whenever you see the commercials about the businesses that are, staying open and they want to be there for you however they can, they never say anything. They don't call it the coronavirus. They don't call it COVID-19. They say uncertain times. So that's and then they always talk about how much they care.
It's so they can use it for next year.
Yeah. So yeah, when the next one happens, the next plague that we don't have a vaccine for, that's gonna lock us all down again. Do it all again in 6 months. So the care button introduced today, it looks like a smiley face of a woman who's like sitting cross-legged because of where the heart icon is placed. It's just a weird looking icon, but you can I think it's the first like addition to the reaction bar that they've done in a long time. I know like every once in a while they'll add like temporary ones.
Pride. I know they do Pride every year. They'll add that temporarily.
Yep. I think
then people just pride bomb all the gay haters.
this one I'm sure will be around to stay. And if that's the case, it's going to be like the first permanent edition since they introduced the different reactions. Since that all was introduced. And I actually just to be a dick, our friend Shu posted something, and I don't have any sound drops of Shu. That sucks.
Yeah, you don't? I know you've got one.
Unless I have him down as Bruce, but yeah, no, I don't have any shoe drops. Boy, I suck. Wow. I got rid of them.
You're dropping.
Wow. Wow. What an asshole.
No, they're in the other God, I fucking suck. You know what? Here, we'll just
All
do
right,
this.
let's just do the show over. Just start it again.
Bucket of steaming hot water and douses it in hot.
Good. That one makes everybody happy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Anyway, Shu posted a picture of, I don't know if he's like legitimately banged up or if he like is just wearing makeup, but just to be a dick, I used the care reaction, and within seconds, someone who are mutual friends with comments like, "You are the first person I've seen to use the care button."
I haven't gotten it yet. Is it because I didn't take my SATs?
There's your answer.
Post on Facebook that you didn't take your SATs, because then they'll show that if people care about you, and then they'll use the care icon. So
I didn't take my SATs.
so yeah, it's just another initiative to bring people together in times where they can't be together.
So the heart wasn't good enough.
The heart wasn't.
No, heart is love. Heart is love, but love doesn't mean care.
There you go.
Okay, fair enough. So it's just lesser. It's like the soft serve version of love.
It's the froyo.
Yeah. Wow. We've come full circle. We always find a way. we always go on this weird journey, and we always
We do it Danny Bonaducci style.
Danny Bonaducci, Danny Bonaducci, Danny.
I don't know why I have that. I've half the time I should never question why I have any of these sound drops. But you're right, they do come full circle. But on that note, I do have a question for you.
I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
You said the term fair enough. What do you think the fair enough reaction would look like? Like the icon?
Fair enough. Maybe like, well, seeing as this one has hands that hug a heart, maybe that one's kind of got like a slight smirk with like the hands kind of up in the air, like
shrug. Like
shrug.
The shrug. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like a shrug with a smirk.
Yeah, smirkish, smirkish. Yeah,
Smirkish.
Yeah. Smirkish.
Michael Smirkish.
Yeah, Michael Smirkanish.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. So with that insightful discussion, we will end this episode of Hardly Focused. Mike, I gotta say, with that BBC mic, you sounding good.
Goddamn right I do.
And I don't mean the British Broadcasting Company. Mike, I'm letting Mark because he's seems to be the most well endowed, equipped person on the show. Letting him borrow some of my equipment. So
yeah, that's what my wife said.
Yeah. And you sound good. Fillers, what do you think of Zencaster?
Oh, this is awesome. This is the best one so far.
Yeah.
I was like, I can tell the quality, like, out of all the other ones. Like, as soon as you hit go on the other ones, it was like, oh, okay, we sound like we all sound like robots a little
dear
bit.
Zoom, you suck.
It was
Skype. Skype was the one that we did 2 seconds worth of Skype.
Skype was awful. I called my father the other day, and I didn't feel like taking out my phone to dial. Instead, I pulled up Skype and just sat at my computer and was working while talking to him through the mic. And Skype I think I had to hang up at one point because it was so bad and call him back. Skype cut out so many times. Fuck Skype. Skype is such garbage. They're trying to push upon us Microsoft Teams, and you see commercials for Microsoft Teams now on TV because Teams is supposed to be like now the go-to solution for video calling and chat and whatnot. And Teams is like, I'm calling it better Skype because it's like, I've used it a couple times and it's like Skype, but it's just ever so slightly better. And it seems like whatever focus that they had on Skype is going to Teams, but not at the level that we want it to be. It's not at, obviously Zoom has its own quandaries, but it's not at Zoom level yet. So
Did they high five in the commercial?
No, the commercial is a bunch of people that I can't understand because it's a bunch of people in like different countries. And, obviously, now their English is very good, but they have such heavy accents. They have to put closed captions up because you can't understand what they're saying. And then Zoom. So I read something today about at like a Google conference. It was like a bunch of Google executives, and they were talking about Google Meet, which is it's like Hangouts but business class, and this like top level Google executive was rambling on about who knows what, and then his kid, and I don't know how old the kid was. Kid had to have been, I'm going to say probably like 8 years old. Comes into the room.
Oh, he was 4.
Yeah, there you go. He comes into the room and interrupts his father. Old enough to speak coherently, young enough to not give a good goddamn about what's going on. So interrupts his father, gets on the webcam and goes, "Daddy, are you talking on Zoom right now?" and there's just silence in the room because this is a conference about Google Meet, and everyone's on Google Meet because that's what it's supposed to be. So then the kid, I think the father might have corrected him and said, no, we're using Google Meet. And the kid starts talking about, oh, my friends and I use Zoom. Zoom is so good. I love Zoom. Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. So, boy, did that look good for not only that executive, but Google as a whole. And I read this on 9to5google.com, if I may cite my source. So, with that,
tell whose kid that was. Was it Kermit the Frog? Like I was trying to.
Kate and I developed a character that we call Baby, and that's Baby's voice.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Baby.
Also hear that guy who did the wonderful world. I can't remember his name. Sorry.
Louis Armstrong.
Yeah. Wow. Why couldn't I think of him?
I see clouds of white, skies of green,
That is bad.
red
That's
roses
not-
too.
That
And
one-
I say to myself, I have to go poo.
I can't believe I forgot. Well, edit this part out. Thanks, man.
It's like Hamsar if Hamsar took a few too many Quaaludes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Or are you talking maybe like Sweetums from the Muppets? Like a visual.
Yeah. Fair.
Fillers, I'm glad you like Zencaster. In the age of podcasting that we live in, with pretty much everybody being able to do it now, I'm glad that there are solutions out here for those that can't obviously be in the same room together. So look, I don't want to pay for Zencaster because I don't need any of the features that you'd have to spend money for. But if they had a simple donate option, I would donate money to them because this is a really good service and it's suiting our needs. And I'm glad it's working out for everybody. So
I would give them a care emote.
But not a love emote.
there we go.
Not a love. They have to do some more stuffs to get the heart.
Yep.
We're not there yet.
Not yet. So that'll do it for this episode of Hardly Focused. Mike, Nate, thank you guys for being here. We will do it again soon. With that, say goodbye, Kate.
That's all we got for you. Bye.
Well, that's it. My old friend Duke Steve is standing by. We'll get some coffee. We'll get some matzo ball soup.
This podcast is Hardly Focused.
I love the San Antonio Spurs, by the way. If you're betting in the NBA this year, I think they're going to win it all.
Get Hardly Focused on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
So I guess there's nothing more to say, but...
I will eat your ass